Pavlov proposed over a century ago that the sight, smell, and taste of food are important for regulating digestion. More recent studies in the 1970s and 1980s have also suggested that the taste of food may restrain how fast we eat, but it's been impossible to study the relevant brain activity during eating because the brain cells that control this process are located deep in the brainstem.
Cambridge scientists have shown that placing physical constraints on an artificially intelligent system in much the same way that the human brain has to develop and operate within physical and biological constraints allows it to develop features of the brains of complex organisms in order to solve tasks.
Plants possess an intricate system of roots that extends far beyond what meets the eye. These underground networks serve a crucial purpose in absorbing water and nutrients from the soil. This remarkable feature enables plants to thrive in demanding environments like deserts. Mesquite trees, for example, have tap roots that can delve over 50 yards deep in search of water.
A person's demographic and social background can influence their attendance at cultural venues and events. Household composition, in particular, plays a significant role in shaping cultural preferences. For instance, families with young children are more likely to visit theme parks and amusement centers, while single individuals may be more inclined to attend concerts and art galleries.
Conventional theories about black holes, based on Einstein's theory of general relativity, typically explain how static or spinning black holes can exist on their own, isolated in space. Black holes in pairs would eventually be thwarted by gravity attracting and colliding them together. However, this is true if one assumes the universe is standing still. But what about one which is constantly moving?
Around one of the adult population are defined as psychopaths, meaning they possess no conscience, shame, guilt, or ability to experience love or feel empathy towards other people. Drive Body will discuss how they appear as potentially effective leaders, how they get to the top, and what they do once they have achieved leadership. The hardness of materials is determined by the strength of the chemical bonds that are formed between the electrons of the neighboring atoms. For example, the bonds in diamond are very strong, so it is one of the hardest materials known. The bonding is rooted in the laws of quantum mechanics.
Changing temperatures shifts the energy balance of ecosystems, from plants that produce energy from sunlight to the animals that consume plants and other animals, subsequently altering the sensory worlds that animals experience. It is likely that climate change will challenge all of their senses, from sight and taste to smell and touch. Dairy products such as ice cream and yogurt have relied on natural vanilla for many years, Bright points out. In the U.S., Food Drug Administration rules state that vanilla ice cream must get its flavor from natural vanilla. If the flavor comes partially or fully from another source, the company must stamp vanilla-flavored or artificial vanilla on the front of the package. A likely turn-off to consumers.
3D printing is advancing rapidly, and the range of materials that can be used has expanded considerably. While the technology was previously limited to fast-curing plastics, it has now been made suitable for slow-curing plastics as well. These have decisive advantages as they have enhanced elastic properties and are more durable and robust.
The largest terrestrial carbon sink on Earth is the planet's soil. One of the big fears is that a warming planet will liberate significant portions of the soil's carbon, turning it into carbon dioxide (COTWA) gas, and so further accelerate the pace of planetary warming. As the world strives to cut greenhouse gas emissions and find sustainable transportation solutions, University of Houston energy researchers suggest that hydrogen fuel can potentially be a cost-competitive and environmentally friendly alternative to traditional liquid fuels, and that supplying hydrogen for transportation in the greater Houston area can be profitable today. In the creative condition, the students were told to think of a friend who did something special and think of them as their creative friend who could help them solve any problem. This type of creativity training is called perspective shifting, in which the kids look at a problem through the eyes of someone else.
Pancreatic cancer is tricky to manage because it spreads easily and early, and the tumors have a unique biological makeup. But researchers made a breakthrough by learning about the genetic changes that occur during tumor migration, and also found a drug that can obstruct the process.
When an earthquake strikes, smaller quakes known as aftershocks can continue to shake the area for days to years after the original earthquake occurred. These smaller quakes decrease over time and are part of the fault readjustment process following the original quake. While aftershocks are smaller in magnitude than the main shock, they can still damage infrastructure and impede recovery from the original earthquake.